to my talk series English with Purpose. I'm Vera, or the Mindful English Language Coach, and I empower professionals to find their unique and confident voice in English. The idea of English with Purpose talks was with me for a long time, and I finally am here. The goal is to ignite conversation around the fact that English can be a connector or a tool that can help us express our views and our thoughts and our ideas with the rest of the world. And part of the goal for this talk is that I want to release the pressure of perfection for professionals where English isn't the native language. Ready for an interesting conversation? Follow me. So, hi, I'm kicking off 2023 with Kashira. It's the first episode of the year. And before I let her introduce herself, I just want to share how I got to know her. We connected over LinkedIn, and I've been following her content, and lately she does some amazing talks, some videos that I really enjoy. The topics resonate with me. So I invited her today to talk about something really important because many people reach out to me. Before we start, Kashira, would you like to share anything about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vera. First of all, I am super excited that we are having this conversation, and also because the topic we talk about, you and I, the video series which I have recently started, somehow we are trying to help the community. Mm-hmm. We're trying to help the people out there. And it comes from the heart, because we have lived it ourselves. For example, you are a communication coach. I'm sure you must have gone through a lot of situations in your life, and now you're there to just share your experiences, train people, just tell them few things, what you have gone through. And I have seen it from my experience that there are a lot of people who really find value in what I say. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they feel connected with it. They feel that, okay, it's not only me who is going through that situation. There are other people. That particular piece wherein you feel that, okay, you are not alone in the world. Mm-hmm. There are people going through similar situations, similar issues. It kind of builds up more motivation, and it strives. The people feel that, okay, they can go ahead and they can do things. There are a lot of people in the world going through these situations. So I guess that passion drives me. And that is how I've started talking about my experiences in my video series. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And hence we are here to help out as many people as we can.
I think no one is alone, but when you have a struggle and you kind of doubt yourself, that's the most critical point where you feel isolated and how do I do this, or why am I hitting a dead end? I've been through different journeys as well as a coach, and the purpose of these talks is exactly to inspire, to motivate, and let people know that nobody's perfect. Everybody goes through some challenges, and there's always a way out of the challenges. So let's go first straight to the question. Why do people, in your experience, find networking so challenging?
Okay, well, this is again something I feel connected with, because I have gone to these networking sessions, mm-hmm. and I have just stayed back. There has been a feeling which has been pulling me back, that I don't know, maybe I should go ahead and say hello to someone. Maybe I should do this. Maybe what if the other person does not react the way, I would really want? Yeah. And the feeling of hesitation, it pulls you back. And that feeling, Vera, is so strong that it just, you start feeling that you're sinking deep in the ocean. And if you do not know the mechanisms to come out of it, it can become really tragical situations. And
you're describing something very, very important, like you were pulled deep in the ocean. The feeling I used to have as an introvert is mm-hmm. like I'm in a glass wall and now I have to break it and go to the other side. But
Why do I always have to start with, hello, how are you? My name is da da da, and I do this da da da. I found it as well boring to have this particular introduction and try to read people how they would react. And that's a struggle also for my clients. They freeze. They tell me I freeze. I don't know what to say. And especially if it's in English and I am German or Swiss or Spanish, then I think twice before I open my mouth.
Yeah. So true, so true. I've gone through this feeling. And as you rightly said that it's not always important to just maybe start with hello, hi, how are you? No, you could really come up with something really ice-breaking, something very simple and nice. But again, to be able to say those things, you really need to feel that confidence within you.
Yeah.
I remember I did this latest talk. I think yesterday I did this video. So what happens is like when there are two people, okay, and somehow I give more credibility to that person. I just feel that other person is more strong, more successful, more powerful, and I'm nothing in front of that person.
Yeah.
That feeling, the moment you think that you're nothing in front of that person, you have already buried yourself already. Yeah. So it's really important in a room full of people, in a room full of precisely the strangers. It's really important for you to feel that you are something. You have worth. You are important.
Yeah.
And you are here in this room. There is a reason. Everybody does not get that opportunity to be in the room. You've done something in your life, right? And that's why you got invited. So feel good about yourself. I think this is one thing which really helps in elevating the confidence. You need to elevate your personality a bit and think that, okay, you are something.
Yeah.
Okay. And then go ahead and say, hello, how are you? How's been your day? How are you finding the event? And then the conversations just happen, right? People say their things, you say your thing, but you need to understand you are something. You are not nothing.
I think you matter as a person, as a professional, and that's a very common fear. People tell me when they have to network, how do I come up to this important CEO and introduce myself? Oh, this is that line manager from another country. Oh, wow. They feel awe and fear at the same time. And then either they give the business card or they just, as you said, stay back and watch. It is a lot about exactly understanding your value and your time in that room. So you felt uncomfortable in meetings or in networking events. How did you overcome this?
So, I'll tell you a small story, a little embarrassing, but that taught me a lot.
Yeah.
So a couple of years back when I started working with multinational companies, an organization where people all across the world work together, India, UK, US, Spain, Germany, France, a lot of people. And my first call, this Teams meetings call, I was on a call where there were people from all over the world, UK, US, and a lot of other people. And when you'll see there is a group of native speakers, they all speak more or less in the similar tempo. They speed of speaking is more or less similar. They can laugh on each other's jokes because they understand their jokes, they understand their slangs, that different language, and everybody can laugh together and they can have that ambience over the call and then start the topics on the agenda. Me being the non-native speaker, I could not understand a lot of things they were saying, especially when it comes to their humor. My humor is different. Their humor was different. The slangs, and I was totally silent. And thank God it was a Teams call that I could switch on between videos. But it was embarrassing because I wasn't saying anything. There was not even my piece of laughter in that call. Okay. And I really had to prove myself. I had to say a few things to show my presence over the call. I was important member because I was invited there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow something happened and they said something and I could not understand. Such an important call and I could not understand. And there was no reply from my side. It was all silent. And people like, Kashira, are you there? I'm like silent. That embarrassing. Thank God somebody filled in and the situation got resolved and they all, continued with the conversation. But after that call, I could not see my face in mirror for days.
Right.
It was difficult. It was difficult.
Yeah.
Now, thing was not that I didn't know the language. I know language since my childhood because I've been educated in English medium school. But there was something else which was missing over there on that call. And what was that thing? That was confidence.
Right. I want to ask you as well, what is confidence to you in general, not linked to just the language or the way you speak in the business world?
Yeah, absolutely. Continuing the same story, the moment the native speaker over call said something and I did not understand. Confidence is I could go back and say that, hey, could you please say that line again?
Yeah.
And please say it slowly this time. I could not understand you.
Yeah.
This is confidence.
Right. You said it right, Kashira.
Yeah. I completely lacked it on that call. And I always say that was my most embarrassing moment. But later I realized such a common thing. Such a common thing. It's not an important thing to know every accent in the world. It's not.
That is a very, very good point because I get asked a lot of time to correct accents. Like I sound too Spanish and people always ask me, oh, you're Spanish. And I said, why? That's a good thing. It's you. It's your personality. Do people scratch their heads when you speak? I mean, is it not clear? No, then shouldn't be a problem. They should adjust to you and you should adjust to them. It's a nice point you raised. You shouldn't be changing the way you sound. Just have the confidence to exactly do that. Ask again, repeat, or speak slowly, or ask the situation to adjust. I think it's very important. I live in a country that it's not an English-speaking country, and they speak a dialect. So whenever I want to really integrate, I have to make sure I understand what people are saying in a dialect. And most of the time I ask them, can you please slow down, or can you explain again? And then I'm tired and we switch back to English. But still, a few years ago, I wouldn't even dare to ask that question. It comes with learning and judging and appreciating the time. We have to respect each other's time, and we are there for a purpose. So why not be honest?
Absolutely.
I think being vulnerable is a brave thing to do.
True. I vouch for it. Totally. And this thing, it doesn't come easily. It takes a lot of effort to accept that it is okay. Just go ahead and say, I did not understand.
Yeah.
That's it. Just say it. And it's not easy, because
I think we are conditioned in excellence. We are conditioned in not losing face. We are conditioned in being very professional and perfect. And we need to understand that there's no perfect. There is no excellent. It's just doing your best. I realized that working with people who were afraid of making a mistake in English. And I said, well, what if you did? Would the conversation go south? Would people leave the room? No, of course not. Then it's fine. I mean, imagine the worst case scenario. What would it be? They can't find it, but we are conditioned from school, from our society to be, number one, the best. But I don't think there is such a an ideal, perfect version.
Yeah, absolutely. It is high time. It's high time to break all those traditions, those ideologies, which has conditioned us to be a certain way. It's high time. We need to have our own definition, our own rules, our own tradition. Just define yourself. I think we're all free human beings, free will people. I can decide that what I want, what I do not, how I want to react, how I do not. It doesn't matter what other people think. It just doesn't matter. And having said that, I will always accept that it's not easy, but stand up for your own self.
Right.
Yeah. Just stand up for your own self. Just say it out. Say it out. Become shameless for some moments. Just become shameless. Don't worry about anything.
The other thing is, what if you speak with native English speakers? What if you speak with, in general, native speakers of the language? We all make mistakes, or we all have this slang or idioms, and people wouldn't understand. Maybe it's regional, maybe it's something else. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
So what? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the question. That's the question we need to ask. So what? It's okay.
I want to bring up a story. In the recent past, I coached a team of people where they had to attend regularly events, networking events, and promote the product pitch in a very short amount of time and repeatedly. And they told me, it's tiring. We have maybe 10-minute slot with each person we meet. We have to say over and over the same thing. We speak fast. Plus, we have to do it in English. And we feel robotic. We feel inauthentic. And I said, yes. So how can we connect authentically, even under stressful situations? What is your angle on that?
As I said, there's something very basic which can get you out from the complicated situations. Really simple things. As we just spoke, just say it out. For example, you're in a meeting room, a boardroom full of senior leadership, and your position is quite lower in the hierarchy, right? And you might feel really hesitant and nervous in talking or even raising your voice. Just say it out. For example, had I been there, what would I have done? I would have gotten up, showed courage, and I would have said that, what, this is my first day that I'll be interacting with such senior leaders in the hierarchy. Sorry for that, but I'm a bit nervous. Okay, but let's just take it from that note. And these are my topics. So what I did in that entire thing is I have shared what I was feeling, and that is making me comfortable. It's all about you feeling comfortable in any situation. And once I've said it, I know that everybody knows that Kashira is nervous, and it's okay. And people will welcome what you're saying with that warmth.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Open up. Just say what's there in your heart. Just say it out. And
in the corporate world, it's quite challenging though to really state your true feelings. You are, your title, and you bring to the table certain agendas and certain bullet points, and emotions of nervousness or anxiety don't belong there. I have people telling me exactly when I know that I have to speak to our CEO or to a CFO, I just hand over the bullet point list to my colleague and I just disappear. This kind of fear is in a way damaging us. We don't take the opportunities that we deserve. And to go back to how to authentically connect to people, I think there is this wrong idea of what networking is. It's not about, living with 20 business cards in your pocket. It's not about shaking the hands of everybody. I think it's about understanding the room, connecting to maybe 5 people, not 25, and having meaningful conversations. It's not about just striking a deal. And when I tell that to my clients, that is the goal, you don't need to have all these business cards, they relax, they kind of feel, yeah, I don't need to tour the whole room. I just need to talk to the people I'm really interested in. And that's a different mission. I don't know what networking event culture is in India. In Europe, things starting to change a bit. But still, when you are in the corporate world, it's about business cards, talking about, deals, contracts, problems. And whenever I coach people, they tell me, when I was just breathing and I was standing my ground, it felt better. It felt more comfortable. I didn't talk to everybody, but I talked to 2 people. Great.
Yeah. That's interesting, actually. And I think somehow, this is really important. It's kind of psychological. When you have this feeling of nervousness and you know yourself that, okay, you could falter in such big events, or you could develop that feeling. So what you need to do is you need to tell your mind that, what, today I'm going to interact with only 2 people and it is okay.
Small goals are better than,
True. And when your mind knows that, okay, this is my small target, I think smaller things works really faster and successful. Your mind knows that, okay, this guy has to meet only 2 people. Let's make a successful conversation. And you kind of start giving all to it. And you start feeling good. And then maybe you won't realize when you cross your own target. Why? Yeah. Because in starting, you have comforted yourself. So it's all about our body, our inside is all restless sometimes, when we are in all these big meetings and stuff. You need to provide something to it to calm down.
You're talking about mindfulness. To me, mindfulness. This is going back to it, how we breathe, how we ground ourselves, what do we want to say and how we say it. Very important. And there's always going to be a certain level of anxiety or insecurity, because we are human and we are being judged, we are being looked at in that room, and we want to give the best impression, which is normal. What is not normal in my eyes is to exactly do this: stay behind, be a wallflower, and let others do business in your name, which is really not nice.
Yeah. That's it.
I want to also ask you something which is coming more and more with the people as a topic that reach out. It's about criticism of how we sound, or about our accent, and this is becoming like a real topic. So have you ever dealt with criticism because you have a certain accent, or because you talk in a certain way, or English, as you said, is not your native language? And how do you deal with it?
So, the similar thing when I started working in a multinational company, because you're in that multinational cultural and so corporate, people might not come back on face and say things. But what happens is we build things ourselves. We think a lot. We criticize our own self, even if there's nobody telling you that, what, Kashira, your accent is not really good. You do not sound really professional or like native speaker. Even if there's nobody telling us, we start telling it to ourselves. Literally. And this has happened with me. I have lived it. I felt that in past 2 or 3 months, nobody has said anything to me. And when I'm talking confidently, people do take out time to listen to me. It's only me who's criticizing myself.
Yeah.
So when you talk to more and more people, you will see it that the things are there in their own mind. They are kind of listening to their voice and they are criticizing themselves that, okay, you know what, you're not sounding good. Maybe you need something more, something more. So we as non-native speakers, we need to understand that we have our own accent, we have our own culture, and that's what the inclusion and diversity is all about. We all
Right.
go to a table and we bring our thing to the table. There are different people coming from all
Yeah.
over the world, and that's why there is a difference. If everybody will start being like someone, there is no diversity.
And there is no diversity, and people don't feel themselves. For me, learning a language or mastering a language is a way to integrate yourself in
Yes,
the language and
yes,
feel that you're not somebody else. You are yourself. You are
absolutely.
Kashira all the
Yes,
time, all day.
yes, yes.
And that's, I think, my tip for the people who listen or watch us.
Mhm.
Be yourself in any language you communicate with. It's
Absolutely.
important.
Feel comfortable in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that who you are. What are your values? You know,
Yes, the core
what is
values. Yes.
core values? What are your core values? And I think most of the times, you know, whereas this is something which I've seen, uh, that people do not know their own self. They don't know.
Yeah.
And they just get into the business, they just start doing things and start talking, maybe start watching a lot of motivational videos when they will demotivated, but they don't spend time with themselves, evaluating themselves. They don't know that. And when I always suggest people that take pen and paper, start noting down things about yourself. You need to know who you are as a person, what you
Mm-hmm.
like, what you do not, and what is it that you aspire for. And you know, when you have that clarity in your mind that who Kashira is, what does she like and what not, what she stands for and what she not, look at the difference in confidence this person will exude, because they know who they
Yeah.
are, and they'll not feel hesitating. You know, they won't hesitate about anything. They just
True.
know who I am, and they'll go with all that confidence in any meeting, and they'll like, you know, just handle the situation somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
overall, what I think and what I would really like people who are going to listen to us as a takeaway would be that number one, you really need to do self assessment. Nobody will come and do it for you. You
Mm-hmm.
need to understand who you are as a person. And when you define yourself, meet yourself, introduce yourself to you, see who you become from
Mm-hmm.
that day. It matters a lot. And that's where,
Yes.
as I was telling you, that's where you start understanding what is your worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The mindset, this voices, this you're not good at that, or you made a mistake here and there. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And what I want to say is our core values are our compass to everything we do.
Mhm.
And even for networking or connecting to people or pitching or presenting something, always go back to exactly who I am and what is my mission. What do I want to share with the people, and do
Yeah.
it. There are techniques, there are certain skills that you can evolve. If you are not feeling you can do it on your own, you can ask for help, which is another sign of strength. I don't know. Help.
Yeah.
Support.
Asking for help. Yes, yes. It's another level of confidence that, and
Mm,
that, you know, when you show that strength, that you're going and you're telling person that, okay, you know what, I really need help right now. Help me fix it. It's okay, just go ahead and say it.
yeah.
That that's what something really helps out people.
Mm.
Yeah,
We cannot do everything on our own, and it's good that we ask for support, I think. In my case,
absolutely.
I ask for support to my husband, for example, because he's Swiss, so I can understand the dialect. And the same goes for everybody who wants to really, really connect to people,
Hmm.
whatever the
Yeah,
language.
yeah. Absolutely. So, like, because we're talking about particularly as a native speaker, English language,
Mhm.
people should learn the language. Yes, it is important because we all have accepted English is a business language all over the world, right?
A
And it is
fact. Mm.
important. Yeah, it's a fact. We've accepted it, and let's learn the language. It's important. And add certain vocabulary to your sentences. It helps in talking. It helps you in proceeding with your conversations. It's important. Okay. Having said that, do not complicate your conversation with too many vocabularies. Do not try to
Yeah.
change how you sound. As I said, when you understand what you want, understand the language, learn the language to the extent that you can confidently talk to people. Rest everything is accessory. If you want to add too many vocabularies and you really feel that, okay, yes, you can take up more, go ahead and do it. But if you do not do that, you are still good enough to confidently converse with people because you
Yes.
have understanding of the language. Sometimes, you must have seen people just try to add everything they know in the vocabulary in a very basic sentence. When you can say a simple sentence, why to complicate it? Just keep it easy.
I think complication is connected to I have to impress, I have to,
Hmm. Hmm.
show my skills. And that's the trap. Sometimes we overcomplicated things. And exactly that I also tell my clients not need to impress with the best vocabulary or the most fancy words. Just be clear. I understand you. I ask questions, and then there is interaction because it's not just one-sided conversation. It's about also listening, asking, replying, and it's a nice ping pong game as I see it.
Yeah.
It goes on.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, the last question is, when you're under stressful situations, what do you tell to yourself to really have this clarity and this calmness?
Hmm. Calm down. Just calm down.
Mm.
There's nothing which cannot be handled by being, by not being calm. When you are calm, everything is sorted. But to be calm is also which can be learned by practice. People think it's
Absolutely.
okay, I can be calm at any point in time. No, it doesn't happen. Because when we're too nervous, when we're too excited or too full of like stressful things, we
Mm.
forget to be calm.
Yeah, that's a
You know,
perfect point. Yeah.
yeah, there's one thing. So when I was going through some or other problems, I reached out to a lot of people to seek help, to get their guidance, to solicit their feedback. There's one lady I reached out to, and until I was on a Zoom call with her, I didn't know who she is. Okay, she is a celebrated personality from theater in America, and I didn't know. So that was quite a surprise when she came on a video call with me. I just booked a session with her.
Mm-hmm.
I told her my problem. So she was like, I have been a theater artist, and it has been very important for me to deliver the entire dialogue in one way. I have no opportunity to make errors because this live audience,
Yeah.
right? People have connecting dialogues after my I I I have zero opportunities to make errors. And she was like, there's something which I have added in my life, and that has worked like a magic. And it is working for me too. She said, I started being calm. I started slowing down myself. So what she did, she told me that when you are nervous, too stressful, your mind is running at double the speed. You're like
Yeah.
this,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We think
yeah,
too
yeah,
fast.
too fast, too fast. And because of that, the right thoughts, right decisions do not enter our mind. She's like, because I was finding it difficult to calm myself down, to slow down myself, I have changed my entire lifestyle. I have slowed down my lifestyle.
Perfect.
So what she did, she told me that when she wakes up, she takes her cushion, she keeps it slowly. She removes her blanket slowly. She gets down from the bed slowly. You getting me? She has slowed down every part of her lifestyle. And when she started doing it, it's like your mind knows the tempo your body is working in.
Yes.
And that is what she is able to reflect when she is delivering dialogue, when she's talking to people, when she's training people. And she's also a celebrated Hollywood actors trainers. So even Hollywood artists, they go through similar situations, what we just talk about.
Well,
And
what's
they are
the bottom line? The bottom line is calm down.
absolutely. It's about
Calm
calming down. Slow down, slow
down. Yeah.
down. It's okay, slow down.
Yeah.
And it sounds powerful also. When you slow down your language, when you slow down your rate of speech and what you deliver, it comes out as a powerful sentence. People do like to listen to you. It's
They
like,
do.
yeah, you're adding weightage to your words. You feel that whatever you're saying is important.
I can't disagree with you. It's absolutely correct. Yes.
Yeah.
She got it right. You got it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
And since that day after my call, I was like, it's such a basic thing. Why can I not do that? Though I have not 100% being able to slow down my lifestyle, but I keep it in my mind.
You are aware of it, which is very important. Maybe the
Yes,
first step.
absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. I think we had a very interesting conversation. Thank you for your time and the exchange of ideas and tips and experience. And I am sure the people who are going to watch this or listen to this find it helpful.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you too. It has been super exciting for me to talk about the topics I
Yeah.
have felt, I have lived and experienced in my life. And yes, even if there's one person who can get some kind of peace, some kind of help, it's a job well done for me. And I think that's the passion which drives you, Vera. I mean, I have seen how active you've been on LinkedIn. You're sharing those long posts. Why? Because you're trying to help out community, help out people out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has been wonderful. And I think from my side, all the people who will be watching, I really want to say that I have reached out to Vera at some point of time in my life. So the time when I really needed help and I wanted somebody to just listen to me and tell me what is wrong or just share the feeling. And she was really helpful and she is like skilled to be a perfect communication coach.
I appreciate
So
it.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nothing to flatter, but this is what I have felt by conversing with her. I'm sure it's going to help out
Thank you
people.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Vera.
you.
Take care.
Kashira.
Bye.